Hello, everybody. This is David Warner. Can you hear me okay? Feel free to post comments. It's very nice to be back. I'm using YouTube. This is my very first time using this type of format. So if I can just get a some type of comment, just let me know that I'm coming in loud and clear. Excellent, David Roberts. August, Texas. How are you guys? It's good. It's really nice to be back here with you guys, and I'm just looking forward to just to really get back into this. I've really missed doing this with you guys. So let's just go ahead and jump right in it. I just want to see here. So like right now, hopefully you guys can just see my Forex Factory screen. I just want to make sure you guys are. Just want to make sure I got everything right here. A T trader. Okay, great. Thanks, David. I appreciate it. Well, anyways, let's just kind of jump right into what we've just used to doing here. But you know, I know it's been a few weeks since we've actually had the chance to be together. But I mean, obviously, the story is still it is. Hold on, let me see here. I'll put it this way so you guys can see me. Hello. Yeah, this is still a dollar story. This is still a yen story. I honestly I've been obviously following, I mean, I'm sure you guys have too, like the dollar yen very closely. It's been a pretty boring month, kind of really up to right now. I thought, hey, thanks, Don. I honestly thought that I didn't really expect to see kind of like the dollar really kind of break those intervention levels as quickly. I don't even know if you can call it quick, but like as just as definitively as they have. Honestly, like the way that the Federal Reserve has been, just kind of moving on the way that they have, and like kind of Japan, just kind of where it's been sitting like this, like we're getting to the point, I feel like, where something is going to break. I am not bullish on the dollar yen right now. I feel like, the rest of this week, like Thursday, Friday, like this Thursday, Friday, like these CPI reports tomorrow, it could break something. We just had the Bank of the Central Bank of Hong Kong actually just had an intervention, I think, today. And Japan, just kind of share an article with you here real quick. Let me do this. Let me make sure that I have this kind of full screen for you here. But like the Bank of Japan, they kind of started to do even just like kind of a verbal intervention today. And it's just that jawboning that we've discussed and, kind of in the past. And so, honestly, like right now, I know these kind of yen pairs have been pretty hot to trade, but like, I'm not really looking at any yen pairs other than the dollar yen. Like, as far as like the yen pairs are concerned, like the dollar yen is really, in my opinion, really the only one that the market is focused on. The Bank of Japan is trying to kind of, I don't know if they're trying to, talk down the fact that they don't really have much of a leg to stand on, but they say so what was important was the speed of Forex moves, not the levels, when deciding on any need to take action. And so I feel that if like, I'm going to pull up a dollar yen chart right now. Actually, I'll pull it up I'll use the Owanda platform. This was very aggressive of me. I mean, I tried to sell, kind of in this, kind of in the intervention levels, and it didn't. Obviously, it didn't work out. I shared that trade, with you. It didn't work. But I am kind of paying attention actually now to this big quarter right here. This is our intervention level right here. Listen, I don't really have a crystal ball, but like I and I already did it, but like I already kind of shorted it at this 46.75 just to see if I could get, something. I thought we'd maybe get like a return to 145. I'm not loaded up on this. I'm like leveraged twice on this. Nothing really too big, but I just feel like we should have we should see some type of correction when they see that they're not super concerned about the moves. It's the speed of the moves, but I feel like it kind of broke that intervention level and broke it pretty fast. And there was like a Forex Live. Let me pull that up here real quick. Let's see here. Just wanted to show you. I believe it's here, but apparently like even the White House is starting to get involved on like the dollar strength. I don't know. Like, I feel like, it's this like this, I'm not saying that it's time to like sell dollars and like kind of huge reversals and things like that, but we could see some type of potential dollar reprieve. I don't know. This inflation report tomorrow, I think is like, it's going to be a big one. I think that the rest of this week is going to play out, and we may see some really, really, really big moves. And I think these moves are going to be exaggerated. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some exaggerated moves tomorrow. I really do feel that the dollar is going to it's going to be a big move one way or the other. And the thing is, like, where I feel it, just going with the dollar yen, I think it would be very, very dangerous to be long this dollar yen right now coming into this, because like I feel that even if the inflation numbers, are still like, super hot, that obviously that's going to, kind of cause like kind of a new pop in the dollar. But the risk that you would have, I think, being long dollar is that the Bank of Japan is going to step in, and then you potentially get another intervention. This is something that like, any way that you kind of look to play it, I know it's like, you only really have 100 pips from here to here, but I could see them at least, coming back and kind of retesting, at least where, the kind of broke the original intervention level. So I expect at least a retest down to this. But I feel like, hopefully we can kind of start moving back and, back and below 145. I think I'm even going to give you, I think it was you, Robert, Raps, to give you credit even on, I think it was you commented on Twitter that you see this pair moving up to 47.50, and, you may get it, but I just was like, and that may even be the better play, because it's like I haven't really hit the reset button yet. We talked about, just kind of like, big line to big line. We haven't hit reset, which is the one thing that I don't necessarily have going for me here. But I am trying to use this green bodyguard, much like, you've seen kind of green bodyguards kind of have reversed things in the past. This would be kind of, one of those, basically one of those plays on it. So, but, since it is like kind of, we're all back here together, which is great. Is there any, what currencies would you guys like to kind of focus on or look at? Is there any, questions on anything since the last time that we were together? Just happy to be back with you guys. Are you guys watching this through your phones? Are you guys watching this through your, hopefully on a computer here? Okay. All right. Well, let's take a look at some of the other kind of big, kind of some of the other kind of big movers here lately. I've had some, The other pair I have been trading was Australia Japanese yen. I shared some things in that. I've had some good trades in that one. That one did kind of short and give me some nice trades. It's just this dollar yen right now is my absolute nemesis. Well, feels like my current nemesis right now. But like even if I'm just kind of looking at it from this kind of even just this penny point of view, this is a very, very aggressive short. Even if you wanted to even kind of look at it, like we're kind of right at the levels. Like if I don't know if any of you are in this trade right now, it's obviously very dangerous. It's obviously a counter trend trade. But if there was like a time and a place to potentially do it, I felt like this was this might be one of them. Like I just feel like even kind of looking at this, even just penny to penny in this way, you could kind of look at it as you're kind of playing off of this green line. You're using the red as your stop, and then basically aiming for this 146, 146.25, 146. Even if you want to play it a little bit more of at a penny view, and then at least you get your 25 pips. Then you're kind of dealing with the 25 pip stop, and you got your how depending on kind of which way you're going, but I would say if you're going for 146, you got at least your 3 shots there. Sophia, it's nice to hear you back here, Sophia. It's nice to have you back. Long USD JPY. That was obviously you got the trend in your direction. You've been in a super awesome trade. I don't know how long you've been long, but where I'm, I think my biggest concern, I think, with the dollar yen would be to like look at the levels that it's at right now and even remotely consider establishing any longs kind of around these prices. I just feel like you're really like we're starting to like really just kind of poke the Bank of Japan. And who knows, this could be a ride up to 150 right now, but I'm going to like, it's just not really a currency that I even want to even just like attempt to even try to ride that, very, very much higher. I don't know if any of you kind of have, maybe some of you share a different opinion, and that's okay. I'm just worried about the Bank of Japan. Just kind of seeing moves start getting too exaggerated, and then it just goes. I've also read things saying that it's been 150, kind of that big one. It's always like the next big round one. If you've been kind of, as long as we, for the last year plus, as we've been talking about, the dollar yen, you just kind of notice how it's like, remember, like, okay, they were like, well, 120 is a very strong level. And then it was like 125, and then they moved it to 130, and then 130 became 140. Now 140 was 145. 145 became that first intervention. So then it's like, what's the next big figure, that they're going to talk about? And, there's a very real chance, that this is going to kind of come up and test that 150. But I imagine between like where we are now to 150, I don't think you're going to get a clean, straight up ride. Like I feel like there's going to be some type of nasty corrections. Even if the corrections just look like this, you got 100 and this is like 150 pip correction and this is a 1 hour candle. And you'll see a lot of these. Here's like a 1 hour candle. This is 150 pips. Here's a couple hours, like a few hours here and there where these 150 pip, or no, excuse me, I'm on a 60 minute, 50 pip corrections, and even something even bigger than that. But, I hope you kind of get an idea of what I mean. I can move this back to the daily, and we can see kind of some of those corrections a little bit more. But like, it's just an idea. It's a trade. Like I'll put it this way, if you are trading, dollar yen, you got to be, especially if you're long, you got to be careful with the long and short. I mean, obviously, you just got to be careful with the leverage. I did great, off of this intervention, and I caught the majority of it. I tried a couple reversal trades. I've shared those with you. Had a couple that just didn't necessarily do what I wanted them to do. So this is basically just another shot. But if I looked at, my dollar yen trading from the intervention till today, I'm profitable. It's been good. I've had, a huge win, a couple small losses on it. And the problem is like with this currency pair, it's the way that it's been behaving lately. It's been tough. It's been a tough currency to try to trade kind of intraday or kind of try to trade penny to penny. This is not really, this currency. I have been kind of looking at it, kind of a little bit more, obviously kind of in this view. I thought, just trying to get kind of bigger trades with it. It hasn't been this long since I think it's August 1998. Yeah. So it's pretty wild, but I think that like this inflation, these next 2 days, I can even just put it this way, like the rest of this week is like, it's not going to be, I really don't believe that it's going to be quiet. I do believe that we're going to have some pretty big moves. I personally would love to see just what we're seeing right now. I know it's really just like the start of the kind of the start of the new trading day, but I would love to see this just kind of carry through, like this currency pair, you kind of like it's kind of entered into it. I wouldn't be like, I don't get crazy surprised to see kind of, I wouldn't be necessarily crazy surprised to see kind of, kind of something kind of turn around before this 46.75, even if it's just this 100 pip correction from like 146.75 to 145.75, because in reality, I mean, we can imagine that there are like a bajillion, it's a real number, there's got to be a billion take profits at this price. There's got to be 1 million new sell orders at this price. The big round 147.50. So it's going to be a big one. If it touches 47.50, obviously I'm going to be upset because I would have had to take a stop. But if it kind of gets to 47.50 and then kind of something happens, starts to react and kind of falls through here again, I try to take that shot again. Where I'm a broken record right now, but I just I'm not going long from here. I think is just kind of one of my I guess biggest takeaways over the last 20 minutes. You know what I mean? So Sophia, I wish you great success with that trade. I would just be careful of I don't know where you have your stop on, like kind of what you're thinking about to take profit, but just kind of keep just keep all that in mind. You definitely don't want to have a super, super wide stop on this right now. And just be careful establishing anything new, especially as we kind of enter into the big one, because like what kind of reward do you really have left? You can try to hit 147.50. You know what I mean? So anyways, USD CAD, USD CAD is, let's take a look at it. So I'm just going to use, I'm going to continue to use Owanda just for this session, just because I have all my lines on here. But, you got that same, like, here's the thing about, some of these, some of these currencies is that we're kind of like, actually, I'm going to put this up in kind of a daily instead. 45.26. Okay. That's you're a couple hundred, you're almost 200 pips away from the stop. If you got 200 pips in profit, you may want to start thinking about kind of, potentially moving that, moving that stop up and potentially kind of locking locking some more in, you know, because you don't want to give up. You don't want to give up too much if you've been if that's been a swing trade for you. Long from 37.50. Well, then you're a rock star. Then I would probably move. I would probably try to, you know, I don't know. You know, it's obviously your account, your money, but you got a pretty sweet profit there right now. You may want to consider maybe locking in a little bit more of it. It's entirely up to you. If anything, like you know, if something starts to, I'll just to kind of pull this in for any of you that are long this, just a consideration. You kind of think about it. If you got to stop at like say 45.25, which would be kind of down here, and I think you're probably using a little bit more of like, you know, like a, you know, maybe like a supply and demand core strategy type, you know, stop on this. But you know, the idea is that if prices start to kind of break and close out of 46.75, just kind of remember, you know, the class and the training that you had on these price points and these lines. If you're using say 4-hour candles, 4-hour candles start closing below, you know, kind of a green barrier, you got to remember what that means. And the same thing, like if it got into 45.75, you got to remember what that means. It's supposed to kind of be this like, you know, we can potentially pull you down into another level, you know. So just be careful. You know, USD CAD is not. I'm going to be brutally honest. It's not my favorite pair. It hasn't been my favorite pair for a long time. Many of you that been, you know, kind of were in the kind of those old companion signature classes with me. It was just kind of a tough one because like we were always like, I wanted to be long CAD, we wanted to be long USD. So then you kind of had two currencies that you wanted to be long, and then you kind of have them. You have them kind of together. You know, the thing is with the, you know, you kind of look at like, we're talking like the same story of the dollar. And like, you know, we're sitting here talking about, you know, well, is there going to be an intervention? Are we going to see a little, you know, kind of dollar reversal, which I don't know. But like, you know, you're getting to kind of these like, you're getting into the area where price action can typically not be great. You know what I mean? As you kind of enter into, you know, kind of that last 250, if you guys kind of remember from, you know, previous times together, this is your butter. And then these areas in the bodyguards, this is where, you know, price can get a little crappy. You know, right now we're above 37.50, 37.50. It didn't make it the last time at a correction all the way back to 135. This is that kind of the second entrance. And, you know, there's a very real chance that it hits this 140 very, very, very quickly. If this thing jumps to 140, you got 130, you got that 147.50 on dollar yen probably pretty easy. But like, you know, the idea is that, you know, the trend is your friend. But like, this is going to be kind of a tough one to trade around these price points. Probably with anything less than like, this might be the type of, charts, or this when they kind of the pairs that, you know, especially at the levels that you're at. God, this is really, really ugly on an hourly chart, you know, because you get stuck in like a 50 pip range, and then you get a little bit of a breakout, and then you get stuck in a 50 pip range. This is pretty ugly. But, you know, let me see here. Like right now, you're getting around one of the, let's see here, 139. Here is 140. This is ugly. I don't know if you're not already in a dollar yen pair, or excuse me, dollar CAD. I wouldn't like. I wouldn't be looking to establish anything new in this. I have a feeling that we're probably going to be stuck in between these bodyguards until our we'll have like a little maybe a false breakout here and there. But this is one that if you're already in a position already, I would hope that you were long, maybe not necessarily short, but establishing something new is pretty ugly. I wouldn't want to do it here because you are I'll even kind of put it this way. If you think about big picture, you're too close to a big bodyguard for me to necessarily be super interested in this. Like if you're going to go long, you don't really have that much room left. You know what I mean? And I would just say, like, when it comes to tomorrow, this inflation report, and listen, if you haven't already done it yet, join the Discord group. My plan with that, did anybody join that yet? If you have, give me a little, yeah, I'm there. And kind of share that, because here's my kind of plans kind of going forward. I want to do more of these type of sessions. The last trading company that I was doing this with, obviously, like I got 1 hour a week. That's all I was able to really do. And kind of going forward, I'm hoping that I could maybe do 3 of these sessions kind of during the week, at least like live, where we can kind of be in a room together. And what I wanted to use the Discord room for is more of kind of like the penny trading. So that, because like it's hard to, like, when we were only together once a week, 1 hour once a week, those were more focused on kind of like the big kind of big quarter levels and kind of the big quarter prices. But if we can be together more often and kind of a little bit more kind of like in the moment, in the now, that's where the Discord group will be useful. And we can do a little bit more of like, okay, well, based off of like this inflation report, how the market's kind of breaking away from pennies, here's kind of a penny trade based off of that. And that leads me into basically where I'm going with this dollar CAD right now. It's ugly. It's terrible. I wouldn't really want to do anything with it. But after 8:30 a.m., what we're going to want to watch for. I like the idea of a Monday session there, AT, and I think that we will make that happen. So I was thinking like maybe like a Monday, Wednesday, at least a Monday, Wednesday, and maybe we'll do like a Friday wrap or something. We'll figure it out. Or we'll do something around calendars or something like that. But we'll kind of do it that way. So yeah, it's way better than once per week. But anyways, nothing. I'm not going to do anything with this pair until we get it. I think that, probably like all of these dollar pairs, like, especially like the non-yen pairs, I guess I'll put it this way. I think like tomorrow, I would let's just say this, even just like for the week, whatever you're trading, it should probably have the dollar in it. And I don't really think anything else even really matters at all anymore. Like I even hate to say, like all those other yen pairs, which I've had some good success with. I haven't been watching them as much. I just feel like it's the story of the dollar, and the Federal Reserve is going to break something. And I don't even really think like, they're so focused is on, it's just like inflation, that it's like they don't really care. It's happened to the stock market, the housing market. what it's doing to all these other countries and their currencies and their inflation and all this other stuff. It's like their problem, but I just feel like something might give, and who knows, maybe this could be a week that it could be. Because like, not only that, I mean, you got these like G20 meetings going, and I would love to be a fly on the wall, that it's been, I'd love to be a fly on the wall, but like the dollar's got to be part of that G20 discussion, so, we'll see what happens, but I'm going to say this, just like kind of going forward, with the dollar is kind of starting to become, unless it's dollar yen, the dollar, as strong as it is, like if you're buying dollars, I feel like if you're buying dollars, as we're getting into these like extreme price points, I feel like the idea of like buying, like using more of a kind of like the penny charts might make a little bit more sense, just because like, it's just like, I'd rather do like, climb a penny, hit reset, climb a penny, hit reset, climb a penny, hit reset, and just see kind of where it goes. Let me catch up on your chats here. We'll look at AUD USD. Sophia, it's been a while since we've been together, I think, because Pound New Zealand, you're right. It was one of my favorite pairs, and I could have said that. But I would say at least the last year or so, I really haven't traded a lot of Pound New Zealand. And one of the reasons for that, one of the major reasons for that, were the carry costs, the rollover costs. In 2021, I spent probably over $20,000 just in carry trade fees on Pound New Zealand. So I just like, I don't even like, I'm not really trading that currency the way that I used to. It's too, and honestly, it's just it's too dangerous. Like if you're going to trade pound, the only thing I would be trading pound with, also with the central banks and just the liquidity and everything, you should only be trading pound versus the dollar or the Japanese yen right now. Trading pound cross pairs is bonkers because the rollover costs are ridiculous, number one, and number two, the rollover spreads are, you're going to get stopped out. You can have a 75 pip stop and you're stopped out just because of the spread during rollover. So I would avoid that for sure. We're going to look at some of these, pound dollar, Australian dollar. We'll look at that. I heard the French were planning to print more money for the people to cope with inflation. Great idea. AT trader, it seems that I don't understand it, but sometimes our governments feel that printing more money fixes inflation. It's kind of like our Inflation Reduction Act, right? So we'll give a bunch of free money for school and all that kind of stuff, and that's going to help inflation, right? So I don't know what kind of world we live in. It just, none of it really makes sense. I just feel like we're in for a world of hurt, and like it's just like slow to realize it. Like I do feel like not to like, I don't know if any of you guys listen to like, I've talked about, I listen to a lot of different podcasts, and probably one of the ones that are a little bit more on the extreme side of things would be someone like Peter Schiff or something like that. I listen to his podcasts every once in a while. I mean, they are very interesting. He's can make some pretty interesting arguments, but he's kind of like one of these guys, if you don't really know who he is, it's like if you asked him when the world was going to end, he'd probably tell you tomorrow. And when tomorrow comes, hey, Peter, when's the world going to end? He'd be like, tomorrow. So he kind of has that. He always kind of has like a doomsday type kind of message, But, some listen to kind of some of the arguments on like why the dollar, like we're coming towards kind of a breaking point. Where it's just like it's going to be too strong and something's going to kind of snap. And I feel like that's potentially coming sooner rather than later. I don't know if it happens in the next couple months or if it's early 2023, but like this the current trend that we're in right now is it's we're not, I don't think we're towards the beginning of it. I guess I could say that. I don't even think we're at the middle. I think we're kind of approaching somewhat of a some type of major correction or something. I'm not saying, I don't know about calling for a total trend change, but I'm just going to take a moment before we look at our other analysis, just to kind of put things into some perspective. I've been trading Forex for pretty much my entire adult life. And I honestly, I can look at charts and I can say, well, it looks like the dollar yen did something like this many years ago. And but I just I don't necessarily, even though I was trading, I don't necessarily really remember it. But this is these type of numbers is just you don't, this is not normal Forex. And you got 30%, 27% year to date, 30% 1 year move. What if we could get, what was a 30% move or 30% year to date? What if we got a 5% correction or a 10% correction? That's not a lot relative to how big and how much this thing actually has moved. And that's probably what I guess I could say we can start with that. Australia, that's Australia yen. You can see it's just a different story. It's really just the story of the dollar yen. But even if I went to, where is Australia? I know it's on here. No, wait. No one likes to be it's always kind of dangerous to try to be the guy that tries to call bottom, because it's a different story obviously here. Is this Australia? I need Australia dollar, not yen. Hold on. Okay. Oh, this hasn't reset. There we go. Not as extreme, but yeah, it's just this whole correction overdue. I just don't want to get caught. I don't want to get caught in. I don't. I feel like you're kind of repeating myself in some things, but I don't necessarily want to be caught, kind of holding a long dollar trade with open targets or anything like that right now. You know what I mean? You're I would have okay, if I am looking at an Australian dollar, the trend is, it is down. You got, here's 100 day, 200 day moving average. We're nowhere near the 100 day or 200 day moving average. That's very, very bearish. But at the same time, the further away that you get from these moving averages, what you can see right here, the bigger retracement we can have to freaking test them. You know what I mean? So it's if something kind of starts to kind of show, some type of aggressive signal potentially going the other way. And here I am kind of using, it isn't really, 46.75 is not really a huge reversal price. I just wish, here I am, the hopium, I guess, hoping that this bodyguard does what bodyguards have, kind of, just kind of do what it's supposed to do, I guess, from that side. AUD, USD, going back to that, God, it's it's moving so fast that I can't even draw lines fast enough to kind of keep up with how this, with what these pairs are doing. And I just feel like we're going to get some type of we even may have the United States, just based off of like watching all these other countries having to intervene. You're sitting there like all currencies, like even looking at like pound USD hitting levels that haven't been seen since freaking 1985. Like some people in this room may not even been born in 1985. You know what I mean? Like it's just like it's crazy. um Yeah. So this one has hit the big 62.50. So it's like it's a big bodyguard. It hasn't hit the big reset of 60 cents. And so that would be kind of the biggest kind of institutional, like that's kind of the real big number to aim for. But as you kind of like bounce off of that big 62.50 bodyguard, maybe it's not very pretty in kind of this penny view, but like the idea of some type of like maybe potential little reversal out of there. This isn't something that I would say to establish right now, but even this, like I would even say if it hit 62.50, I think it probably would hit 62 cents just to stop out the first people that went long at 62.50, because that whole like always seems to kind of do that sometimes. It just seems to just get 50 pips higher, just to kind of get the stop and then go. But like you kind of have a spot, it's like you got 62.50, and if 62.50 like doesn't really hold, it could potentially be a pretty quick move down to 60 cents. This currency has not tested the lows of the coronavirus pandemic, and who knows, maybe that's where it is going. But I don't necessarily feel comfortable establishing new shorts when we enter into kind of these new big areas. Probably better for the long. I'd probably feel better if it actually kind of went into here and then maybe kind of came out of it. So honestly, that's just a 100 period moving average and a 200 period moving average, which is actually something that I've been kind of like, I kind of have them on my charts more. I've been kind of looking at them, and they work with really all of the different time frames. I'm not necessarily using them to like trade like make as sometimes I'll use them if like kind of level, if like a moving average is lining up. I have them on my trading view. I didn't necessarily put a lot of them on my, I typically always have them on my trading view charts, but it's just a 200 period and a 100 simple moving average, and just trying to get an idea of kind of where they're at. And you can kind of use these to kind of get an idea of, okay, here's the trend. And if something does correct, I start using these as potential correction targets, because you can even kind of see, there's probably some good examples how they kind of use these, the reverse to them, and then they just kind of fall off. I actually had a really good Euro USD trade based off of that. The moving averages have moved now, but just based off of, because it got lower. But I don't know if you guys could remember from previous sessions, we had one of these like moving averages line up. It was like, I think it was like 1325, and then it just dropped like a freaking rock. Let me go back to this. But let's look at something major. So with this said, first of all, be careful being long. Shoot, I lost you guys' YouTube here. Where are you guys at? Trying to find your guys' chats. Oh, okay. There you guys are. Um, Careful being long like USD Japanese yen, like you're long, and then you're long AUD USD, because those trades are kind of fighting each other. Because one, you want USD to go up, USD JPY, you want to go up, but you also want AUD USD to go up. So if AUD USD goes up, you need USD to go down. So those trades are actually kind of fighting each other. Something just to kind of keep in mind. But let's go to Euro USD, and we'll look at Pound USD at the same time. Um, you know, these are still just kind of like, you know, very like kind of slow, grindy, type trades. To be honest, like I know we've been sitting here and we've been, I'm like, okay, well, like I want to be kind of a short dollar right now, or at least just give it kind of like a shot, type thing. I still think the euro, I still think the pound have a lot kind of working against it, and I think that potentially may accelerate. We've kind of talked about the kind of the energy crisis, kind of in kind of previous sessions together, and um, you know it's been kind of forecasted and projected that the Eurozone and the UK are going to have a difficult time, especially if we get especially if they have like a cold winter, So I really don't know, on that, but like, this is something that, our next target it's 95 cents, so it's like we still don't necessarily have like a ton of room. You know what I mean? But like this right here, this is probably the prettiest trend line in Forex. Let's see. And I say that because it's one of the oldest, or one of the, it's very established. This is a trend line that has been established since February. So basically, it's the best one we have. But with that said, the further away we get from it, the more correction space you have to kind of get to it. So like, with that, I would, kind of be paying attention to this price action. Like right now, you would need like kind of an extreme shoot up to kind of get to this one, but I would be keeping an eye on this one. This is the one that I would be looking to kind of short off of. We have not had a close above this trend line, a daily close since February. So this is probably the, I hate to use the word easiest, but this is the currency that has kind of the easiest kind of line to define risk off of. And so like you could be looking at this or using kind of shorts off of this. Shorting from here, you have to be careful, because the problem is that you got a lot of room to get stopped out, kind of above you. It doesn't necessarily make the most attractive longs. If you were kind of looking at it, you might be able to kind of use that same trend line. You could kind of break it down if you were trying to get some aggressive counter trend trades. You could potentially kind of use that same trend line. I'm going to leave those lines there. You're just going to have to imagine, the kind of more, well, maybe I can do that on the penny chart. I just have to really go back. I'll turn it to daily first. Oh. A lot of stuff on here. Is this February? Okay. So here's your pennies. No closes above there. I'm just giving you potential shorter counter trend ideas if they start to show up. And now I need to add the penny onto that. Where are we? I'll do $1. Oops. Here's 99. $1. Now, 95 was our next target, and like, you know, there's even been some like potential, like, I mean, there's been discussion that we could see it, you know, we've read 90 cents, you know, so it's like, the thing is that with this currency, unfortunately, it's such a grindy currency. It's not my favorite because like it kind of like it has the tendency to kind of get stuck sometimes. And this is just one that could potentially, geez, I've forgotten like every pennies but the one I needed here. If you look at it this way, you have probably 2 pennies worth of potential correction. You can go 97 to 98 cents and potentially 98 cents to all the way to potentially 90 cents before this trend line gives you any trouble or a new short signal. Does that make sense? You guys got that? Yeah, doomsday clock on the wall. I'm hoping that makes sense. But you know, but if you are going to short it, it's like you know, you'd be kind of doing the same thing. Here I have it on a daily chart, but like, you know, we can break this back down to, shoot, I lost all my trend lines. You get where I'm going though. Like, I have a feeling like, you know, like from where we are right now, you say like Euro USD is 97 cents. I have a feeling tomorrow you're going to, like right now it's at 97 cents. It's going to be at 98 cents or 96 cents tomorrow. Like we're going to get a penny from this inflation report. You can see this currency it's pretty stuck. If you notice, a lot of these dollar pairs, like if we looked at AUD USD, it was the same chart. Our USD CAD, USD CAD hour, it was the same thing. We're stuck in between 2 pause areas, 2 bodyguards, and we need a breakout signal. And I am in the opinion that we're going to get our breakout signal at 8:30 in the morning tomorrow. And if you're kind of watching this evening and you're completely flat and you're just sitting here like trying to think, okay, well, what should I trade right now? If you're flat, the answer probably the smartest answer is just to sit on your hands. And if you want, set an alarm, you know, for this 8:30 a.m. Report. I'm going to try to watch this report tomorrow morning, and if I can kind of see anything in this, I'll do what we'll use that Discord channel to have to kind of maybe look at some penny trades or discuss it. So do you guys have any questions on anything that we've kind of gone over today? What do you guys think of this YouTube format? Is this working for you? Okay. I know you guys have been used to the Zoom. You guys cool with this? You guys are a quiet group today. You guys are usually a little bit more chatty with me, and that's why I'm wondering if it's this format here. But let me look at the pound here. Don Leisure. It's good to have you here, Don. All right, so let's take a look at I think one of you guys mentioned pound USD. Talk about pound USD is not for the you got to have some you got to be okay with risk if you are trading the pound, because the pound has been pounding. And you know, here's the crazy thing about, you know, kind of about the pound, and it goes a lot with like kind of what we were saying about the euro and everything. It's just this one had way more extreme moves. And it was so surprising to see how fast this thing fell from like 115 to 104, because that happened in a very, very quick period of time. A lot of that had to do with just like politics. You got a new kind of party coming in there, and they were trying to like do something with taxes, and the market didn't really appreciate it. And that's what we saw what we did. And this was kind of them kind of backstepping in correction on this one. Now, this one's a tougher one because, you know, you're kind of thinking you want to trade it in the way of kind of like the, you know, kind of like the euro, but it kind of has a little bit more of a mind of its own right now. What I wanted to do is get on these kind of big moving averages. I'm surprised they're not on. Oh, this is because I'm on a Wanda. It doesn't really matter which one you use. Look how far away we are from the 200 period moving average. That's the 200. The further away you are, the stronger the trend is. But I'm going to say it again, at the same time, the further away you are, when this thing starts to retrace, you get so much more room. There's simple moving average, a smooth moving average. Which moving average you use doesn't really matter as far as the whatever. It's just the periods that I'm more interested in. They're all going to pretty much give you mostly the same thing. All right, I'll just make this one green. That's 100 period. It's very, very far away. That's a very strong trend, but like I said before, you got a lot of space to correct. I'm going to go over to, I'm going to change it to the hourly, see how much things change. Changes a lot. You know, the hourly, just because of how much it has been, like when it kind of starts to slow down and consolidates, but it is below it. That's a little bearish. You know, but I imagine if I put the pennies on here, we're going to be seeing the same thing. We're going to see currencies that are like, we're going to see it kind of probably stuck in between two bodyguards. I can already tell that it is based off of the price that it's at. Yeah. So here's our penny, kind of like our penny shot. It's stuck here. It's a total coin flip to kind of say long or short. You know, we're going to figure that out tomorrow. But you look at this, it's exactly the same thing that we saw with the euro. The euro's at 97 cents. It's stuck between two green lines. Pound USD is at $1.11. It's stuck between two green lines. Tomorrow, I think, yeah, stuck all the way around. I agree, AT. And I think that tomorrow we're going to figure out, is this going to be $1.10 tomorrow, or is this going to be $1.12 tomorrow? You know, the trend has definitely been to the downside. It's below the moving averages. If you were saying trend is my friend, that's the way it's going to go. But the biggest thing is that I don't know how much like the dollar. When you start looking at the Forex lives, and you have like other central banks that are starting to intervene, and like I think it was in here, like our like White House checking rates and things like that, which is interesting. Yeah, I don't know if we're kind of where we are on this, but if just going pure technicals, going with trend, and just the fundamentals all still say the trends that have been established are supposed to continue to move in the direction that they are going. The only reason I'm starting to speak like this right now is I just feel like I think it has a lot to do with just the dollar yen and the prices that it's at. That I was just like, okay, well, is there something that's going to potentially correct or kind of at least short-term break, from here? But I guess we shall see. But anyways, so that's our time together this evening. But I just wanted to just say, kind of going forward, I would love to just continue on, with this relationship with you guys. My goal and my plan, going forward, I'm not, as you can see and obviously tell, I'm not working with, Trading Academy, currently. I'm working with, we're going to have, Top Trading Pros, Forex Trading Pros is who I'm going to be working with now. And it's just going to allow me to be way more active than I had been active with you guys in the past. It's also going to allow me to just not necessarily, it's going to allow me to do what I want to do, say what I want to say, show what I want to show, and not necessarily have to worry about it conflicting with something somewhere else. Some of you may know what I mean. So I hope that you guys want to continue this going on with me. I'm going to be doing this with you guys through the end of October, at least this one session a week. After this, you kind of moving into November, it's going to be way more active. So I'm going to be I'm going to Texas for at least a couple weeks. I'm leaving on Tuesday. So I'm just going to do these weekly sessions with you. But like come November, it's going to be kind of full. We're going to be running full speed. Sophia, as far as like the times of the sessions will be, I'm definitely going to have evening sessions, and depending on, kind of what are on the calendar, I'm going to start trying to schedule things around actual calendar events too. That was kind of something that I was interested in doing. It didn't really work out with Trading Academy because I always just had kind of that one 7 p.m. thing that I had been doing with you guys. But I want to, I want to try to mix that up, do something, do some stuff in the morning, do some stuff in the evening. Katut, nice to have you here. This month of October is going to be completely free. It's just a kind of because everything ended with the other company just so fast. I didn't even really get to kind of like give you guys any real notice or anything. The way that this new company that I'm going to be working for, there is going to be some type of like subscription, type service. There will be some details on that for kind of like people that have established relationships with me, the people that I'm working with over at this Top Trading Pros. We're going to offer some pretty freaking sweet discounts for those of you that are going to be interested. It's going to be way cheaper than what you have already purchased. I promise you that. But I'm hoping that with the it also would include, like, you guys would be able to go through like the actual class with me again, if you guys would be interested in that. Allow you just kind of do the whole, kind of my plan is to have like a 5-day kind of online class, but I'm not, just kind of teaching. A lot of you guys know the system, but you guys would have access to kind of see the system again. And then if you guys want to do like a subscription, you guys can do the subscription. We're going to have some more details on that. You'll have, if you guys registered for the Discord group, you'll get some contact or some information on kind of what that, hopefully what that would look like. But my hope is that if I can spend a bunch of time with you, hopefully you'll see a good value in that. And my hope and goal is that we just all make a ton of money together. That's my goal. And I feel and hope that if we can just spend more time together and do it that way, I'm hoping that you'll see some value in it. So anyways, so I'm not doing one of these in the morning, Sophia. There's not going to be a video like this, but I'm going to be in the Discord group. And so that's something that my goal is just going to have that open kind of all of the time. And then just like, I'm watching the markets, and as I see things, just kind of pop them in there like that. I'd love to have you, Dwayne. It'd be great to have you. Great to have all of you here. So anyways, if you guys have any questions, reach out to me on Twitter or email. I'm also going to give you guys this I'm going to give you guys a Facebook page that I want you guys to potentially join here. There you go. So that's it. It was Stock Trading Pro. Now we're going to Top Trading Pros. That's why you see Stop Trading Pro and then whatever. But that's if you guys are on Facebook, you can join that Facebook page. They're posting some great tips on stocks. They're posting tips on, you got options on there. We got a crypto, like real estate guy who's coming on board here as well. So I'm hoping that we can basically cover all of the markets. Also, going forward, just so you guys know, yeah, I'm going to be more socially active. I know, Sophia, look at that. And but also going forward, what was I going to say? Shoot, I just lost my train of thought. It's going to come back to me as soon as I end this. But yes, just follow me on there. Yeah, be more social active. Yeah, register for the Discord group. If you have any questions, you guys can reach out to me there. You guys can send me an email. Let me give you I'm going to give you guys my my new email address for this trading company. 1 second, so I can give that to you. 1 second. And okay, here it is. It's David.Forex at toptradingpros.com. So that's my email address. So you're gonna see in the stock print David.Forex at Top Trading Pros. So you guys can email me. It is there. You guys have me on Twitter. Yeah, and if anybody is in the any of you that are in the New York area, yeah, David, I was planning on that. Kevin, I believe some of you guys reach out. You guys are planning kind of like a Pig Beach, maybe some barbecue, a beer reunion type thing. If you guys can make it, I'd love to have you. So, anyways, do you guys have any other questions for me on anything? Otherwise, my plan is to be with you guys on next Wednesday. Any other questions? Going once, going twice. Anyways, it was very, very nice. It was very, very nice to be back with you guys. I look forward to just continuing this on with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the Discord. And just be careful. We got that big report tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Get your popcorn ready. It's going to be a big one. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. It's nice to be back. You guys take care. Have a good day. Take care. Thanks, everybody. Good night. See you guys.